As technology moves forward, new features pop up while old ones quietly vanish, often before we even notice they're gone. One day you're using something every time you drive, and the next, it's history. Here are 7 car features we rarely see anymore. 1. Front bench seats. Once a common feature in American cars, front bench seats were the standard seating arrangement for decades. Instead of separate driver and passenger seats, there was just one wide seat that stretched across the entire front row, like a comfy living room couch on wheels. This design allowed 3 adults to sit side by side up front, and in a pinch, you could even squeeze in a child as a 4th passenger. It was ideal for families, couples, or even just cruising with your buddies. The last American car to offer a front bench seat was the Chevy Impala, and surprisingly, it was available until 2015. Back in the day, 3 adults, or even 4 with a child, could squeeze up front. But as seatbelts became mandatory, these wide seats became impractical and unsafe. In modern cars, they're almost non-existent, and squeezing people in like that is illegal in most countries. The bench seat just couldn't keep up with evolving safety standards. 2. Tail fins. Once upon a time, tail fins were the ultimate design flex. Inspired by fighter jets, they gave cars a space-age futuristic look. GM's Harley Earl introduced them on the 1942 Cadillac, and by the late 50s, they were bigger than ever, literally. But by the 60s, they went out of style. These days, you'd be hard-pressed to find a car rocking tail fins, unless you're at a classic car show. 3rd, telescoping antennas. Remember those long, noisy antennas that would rise up when you turned the radio on? They used to be a symbol of tech savviness, especially among Japanese brands. Now, most antennas are hidden in the windshield or tucked into sleek shark fin designs. They're quieter, less prone to breaking, and let's face it, way less dorky. 4. Split front windshields. In the 1930s, split windshields were cheaper to produce and easier to install, but as glass technology advanced, they faded away. Today, they're mainly found on classic rides like the VW Camper. Not only are they outdated, but modern safety regulations wouldn't even allow them anymore. 5. Full-size spare tires. Back in the day, most cars came with a full-size spare tire, identical in size and type to the ones already on your car. If you had a flat, you'd just pop it on and drive like nothing ever happened. No speed restrictions, no range limits. It was a real lifesaver, especially on long road trips. But over time, automakers started phasing them out to save space, reduce vehicle weight, and improve fuel efficiency. Instead, most cars today come with a donut, a smaller temporary spare that's only meant to be driven short distances at low speeds, usually under 50 miles per hour or 80 kilometers per hour. To make matters worse, some new cars don't even include a spare at all, but just a can of sealant and a prayer. While this works for small punctures, it's useless if your tire is shredded. Off-road and heavy-duty vehicles still tend to keep full-size spares, but for most of us, that solid, reliable backup is gone. 6. Fender mirrors. Fender mirrors, those quirky little mirrors mounted on the front fenders of a car, were a common sight in Japan up until the 1980s. They were originally designed to help drivers keep their eyes on the road while still being able to check their surroundings. In theory, it was a smart move, less head turning, more forward focus, but in practice, they weren't all that great. First off, adjusting them manually was a pain, especially since they were way out in front of the car, and because they sat farther from your eyes, judging depth and angles became tricky, not ideal when navigating tight spaces or heavy traffic. Eventually, side mirrors mounted near the windows became the standard. They're more intuitive, easier to adjust, and better integrated into modern car designs. Still, Fender mirrors have a cool vintage aesthetic. You might still see them on old-school Japanese cars, or as a retro feature on restored classics. 7. Steel wheels. Once considered the basic standard, steel wheels were the go-to for decades. They were cheap to produce, incredibly durable, and could take a serious beating, especially useful in areas with rough roads or harsh winters. If you bent one, you could replace it without emptying your wallet. But while they were practical, they weren't exactly pretty. Enter alloy wheels, lighter, stronger in most cases, and far more stylish. As manufacturing costs came down, alloys started showing up on more cars, even entry-level models. They're also better for fuel economy and performance thanks to their reduced weight. Today, steel wheels are mostly reserved for commercial fleets, rental cars, or as winter tire setups. They're the workhorse of the wheel world. Not flashy, but reliable. And hey, if you're into that rugged, no-nonsense look, some people still rock them with pride. Just subscribe to my channel for more car topics.